back to This, That, and the Other, where today is an exciting day. We've got my 1965 country sedan station wagon in the shop, maybe ready to get started on finally. I've had it for 4 years, why not start it now? Let's find out. This is the exciting part of this project, the dreaming. So we've all had these cars. If you're into hot rods, you've felt this before. You've sat in a car that has a falling down headliner, a seat that has God knows what in it, but you're still sitting on it, you're still dreaming. This is the exciting part for me until the car's done. Because right now, I envision it going down the road. Look at this. Oh, this functions. This is here. That slam on, hit the gas, wah, feeling it. This is the exciting part of these projects, and I have done this for the last 4 years. To get this station wagon, I actually built another station wagon, which we'll put a picture of right here. That station wagon was kind of a Mad Max off-road, and I never finished it. It was just something that I had a chassis. I had an old 56 country sedan station wagon once again. I had it. We made two things into one. I sold it for $1,200. That was exactly what I needed to buy this car. I'm cautious to use the word dream car. So many people use the word dream car. Listen, folks, we're not dreaming that much. Realistically, I made a car whenever I was younger of 3 cars I wanted to own. The first one, I didn't even care what it was. The first one was just, I want a car that I can say I bought. It was it was a mess. I bought it, I fixed it before I had kids. We all know that old timer that's got that car, he tore apart, then he started having kids, and the car still tore apart in his shed that he's moved 4 times now in different houses.
I'm him. I've been him. I will continue to be him.
I wanted a car to say, I finished it. That was my Mustang. My Shelby Mustang, which we've seen in prior videos and stuff before. We really just seen it once. We hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll fix that car, just saying. But that was my first car. My second car is actually this one right here, 65 country sedan. Not a country Squire. A lot of people like the country Squires. I could care less about the wood grain, fake wood grain on the side. I don't care about that. I want this. This was the working family station wagon. No luxuries, no real luxuries. It was just pat the kids in. If I wanted to, put a trailer on the back. I could do whatever I want with this wagon. This was the working man's wagon. This is exactly what I've always wanted. Third car, if you're curious, AC Cobra. God knows I can never afford a real AC Cobra, so it'll be an AC Cobra kit car. Maybe once I'm 60 and too old to drive the thing, maybe I'll actually have enough money to build one then. But that's past the point. Today's the exciting part. The wagon is in the shop. Sorry, the wagon is in the shop right now. And is it going to end today at imaginary driving and then go back into the park or whatever? Or are we actually going to start trying to bring this car back to life? Let's find out. So in 1965, what did a family man station wagon come with? This particular one here came with a 352 V8. It came with a Cruise-O-Matic automatic transmission, so we see it kind of lit up there. It came with a very basic dash. It came with a very basic, let's see what she's got. AM, FM radio. Probably, I would say probably just FM or AM radio on that. It did have heat and air conditioning, which is sweet. 15 different keys dangling on it. Massive bench seat. So I said that earlier, imagine what you're sitting on. There's what I'm sitting on. It's probably a mixture of cat pee, mouse pee, and whatever else. It came with a nice white headliner, white car on the outside, blue interior, which I think is beautiful. We look to the back, and we see some back seat in there. We didn't have the fancy 8 or 9 row seat, or 8 or 9 passenger seating. We had 6 row passenger seating, which means bench in the front, bench in the middle, nothing in the back for storage. We've got manual window cranes with the very cool manual vent window cranes, which are pretty neat there. We've got adjustable mirrors, which we can see still kind of move. This was the working man station wagon. Nothing over the top, nothing fancy. This is what I've fallen in love with. We take her to the outside. We've got the steel wheels that would have had hubcaps on it. A basic 14-inch wheel, nothing crazy there. We've got the 4 doors. We've got what used to be a fuel tank area. We've got fold down tailgate. Now this particular wagon here would have just had the fold down tailgate. It didn't have the dual also barn door open tailgate. That came later on the wagons. We've got spare tire containment, massive amount of storage area, which this is where our additional seating areas would have been. You would either have the option for an 8 passenger seating, which would have been 2 like little kind of side seats, or the really cool option, which would be the fold up rear facing bench seat, which we'll show later on in our owner's manual. Some awesome tail lights. We've got everything styled. Now the part that I find the coolest, and I don't think this was, I think this had to be a factory order option, was actually the optional luggage rack. So I think the little strips would have been probably pretty standard maybe, but the rack I don't think was very standard at all, so I think it's sweet. Something I don't know, and if you know anything about wagons, let me, or really about anything old car wise, I don't know if this type of gridding here, this almost like a sun shield, I don't know if that would have been a factory option or if that would have been something that somebody just kind of made throughout the years. So if you know something more about it than what I do, let me know. I think they're kind of cool. They're kind of ugly, but they're also kind of cool, especially if somebody went through the trouble to make that. I think that's awesome. We get around throughout it. It's just an awesome wagon. It's got my favorite front end on it that I could imagine. I love any vehicle with stacked headlights, with the exception of Cadillacs. I never really cared for the stacked headlight Cadillacs, but even whenever you get into GTOs and things like that, or different Pontiacs, what do they have? The Le Mans had them, I think. Stacked headlights are so sweet. We've got not only the grille, but the hidden marker lights behind the grille. Beautiful wagon overall that somebody bought in 1965. So, who was the lucky couple that actually bought this 65 Country Sedan new in 1965? It's funny enough, I found a lot of documentation in the car, still in great shape, and it was Vernon C. Ryan, and I can't remember his wife's name, I found it here somewhere, but Vernon C. Ryan from Morrison, Missouri is the one that bought this new in 1965, which I think is just awesome. It actually had it here in this little kind of card carrier type thing, and it's labeled as the Ford Registered Owner Identification. What's cool is I'm actually the second owner of this station wagon, which is just nuts to me. It talks too about instructions for owner card holder, kind of where to put it, where it goes. Inside of, you got it, our actual original owner's manual, which was still in the glove box, perfectly good, no chewed up, no nothing. It talks about a variety of things, which is kind of as laid out here: registered owner plan, warranty, quality car care, maintenance, and we're going to get into some of the other stuff as well. Here is where, let's see if we can find a date. There is where all of that Ford registered owner plan is. We've got the address, we've got so many different things, which I think is awesome. But right there, July 21st of 1965. So less than a month ago, all the way a million years ago, this thing was bought. There's his wife's name. Esther was her name, which I think is awesome. We got warranty number and everything else. As we go through here though, golly, this is whenever they made owner's manual actually like quality owner's manuals where you could adjust, you know, they had adjustments for everything. What's our valves need to be adjusted to? Let's go into the owner's manual and find it out, which I think is awesome. We've got, where were they at? This is where it starts talking about the air conditioner. Gotta find them here. What'd I do with it now? I lost it. It goes through everything. Opening the hood, fuel filler locations. Here's your options for your seats. So there's the fold up to the side seats, which I think are awesome. And then convertible tops, which has nothing to do with us. There we go. There's where we start getting into it. So we got heat and blend air. It talks about different ways to bring the air into it, but it also talks about what they call rec, which is actually going to be our air conditioner that's there and how to adjust it. Different instrument panels, which ours did end up having the AM radio whenever we looked at it earlier. There's the part that I want to talk about. Optional 4-speed transmission. Whenever I bought this car, so why has it been sitting for 4 years? It's because this car needs a bid block. This car needs a 4-speed. The bid block I've got, we got a 390 on the smaller side of bid blocks. We got a 390. This car needs the 4-speed. This would have came option with 2 different styles, a 3-speed top loader or a 4-speed top loader. Now I thought with everybody and their brother swapping transmissions in cars anymore, you would be able to find a 3-speed or a 4-speed top loader easy enough to be able to swap into it. I guess they're all gone and they're rare as hen's teeth, because to try to just get a remanufactured transmission, I could hardly find even used ones not being rebuilt, was close to $3 grand. 2,500 to $3 grand was the option, was the kind of range in pricing. That's still no bid block bell housing. That's still no shift linkage. It's just the core of the transmission that's been rebuilt. But this is where this project has been lingering forever, is the optional 4-speed that's there, or 3-speed. I'm not even picky anymore. We don't have that though. Unfortunately, we have the automatic. This would be the first automatic I have ever built in an old hot rod, if that's the direction that I end up being forced to go into. We keep going through it though, guys. It's freaking awesome. I absolutely love it. Look at, oh man, optional different accessories to go on them, a mud and stone deflector, different package carriers. Just, it's so sweet to actually be able to see this thing in real life. We've got the different ratings and stuff. We don't have to go and guess. You don't have to go and try to search it on the computer. It's here. It's in your owner's manual, just as it should still be today. Different quality cares, different lubricating things. Just an awesome piece of documentation to still have with this car, which I think is fantastic. So there's where we're at with it. Let's keep looking and see if we can find some other fun stuff. So Family Man's Wagon, it can't just haul the kids. It's also got to be able to do all of the household chores that you might need to do there. Look how much space we have for just storage through there. Now, I still have this backing piece. I just had it out while I was doing some modifications of this tailgate. Let's put a tape measure to it and see how much room. I almost bet we can dang near hold an 8-foot 2x4 in this whole thing. Let's stretch her out. Right there, hooked, we are at, I'm gonna call it maximum, just a touch past 7 foot to still have enough room for the tailgate to close. If you were to put the 2x4s on top of that, or even have the tailgate closed and put the 2x4s there, that right there is a working man's thing. Dude, I bet you could get a piece of plywood in this thing even. How wide is it? I'll sit you down right quick. Get a width measurement. You could haul it just at, it's 4 foot 1 inches wide. You could actually put a piece of, if you left the tailgate down especially, you could put a piece of plywood in this thing and be ready to haul it. How sweet is that? Let's go back to the passenger though. We got her folded down. It's even cooler though. Oh, let's get you set up. I gotta have 2 hands for this. All right, take 2 of that. We got to pick up here, and now the entire seat actually folds forward, or folds back per se, to have our seating in here. And this thing's cushy. Now this front seat's not mounted, but there's enough room for me at 6'3" to sit here, and my leg's still not hit, which is awesome. And then of course we got smoker tray there too, so if we want to smoke a cigarette, we're good to go with it too. God, this thing is sweet. This is where I'm falling in love with it again. Now, what I find absolutely crazy is all the windows on every door in this thing are manual crank, but this back glass is automatic, which is sweet. So we could put power to it. Oh, wrong way though. Put power to it. And up we go for actual power windows on this thing. Now there's a switch that's up by the steering wheel to actually do this up there, and there's also a fancy switch that you can do with the keys, but ours is trash at this point, so we're just jumping it with a battery. But I think that's absolutely cool to say 1965, and here we are with power window options, especially on the rear gate. So just another sweet feature. So I mentioned a couple different things. Earlier I mentioned this thing's like next to impossible to get parts for anymore, which is still true. So you're gonna have to be resourceful with it. And that's actually, before I was ever making videos, what we did here. So this motor that was original to this wagon was, I've never seen a motor rust like this before. It had rusted the entire body away and was just exposed kind of coiled wires and things. So you can't buy it anywhere. I actually ended up modifying, what was it, a Dodge Dakota? It was a Dodge Dakota, I think it was a 4-door, like a rear door motor, to modify to make this work. So Resourceful is definitely what this project's going to be. If you're curious what the part number is and you're watching Wagon stuff, there's the part number I came up with to do that, which could have been a video all in itself, how crazy it is. Now this Wagon is in awesome shape. We look through here, rear passenger area, like rear storage area, no actual all the way through rust. We've got some heavy scaling, but nothing more. We do have on the spare tire carrier some rust down there, a very small amount beginning right there. And then the worst part of it all was before I got this car, about 4 years prior, they actually sold the side window out of it, and that's where we have our rusted floor pan there. So if we do get into this guy, we are going to have some fabrication, which if you've seen this channel before, we fabricate pretty much every video there is. The worst of the worst though definitely comes with this tailgate. Let's get you set up and close it. This one's going to be the hardest because I cannot find a tailgate anywhere for these things. I've looked through all types of different resources and different forums and web pages and stuff. I can't find a reproduction, much less an original, that's not in worse shape than this one. Here's where we can see it though. We're rusted in some pretty severe spots, which are all pivoting points for the structure itself. This is going to be probably the hardest part of this car, and I've been thinking about it honestly for 4 years on how I want to do it. I think realistically, trying to go through and build patches for this, one, it's trash, and two, I just think it's too extensive. I think this entire back panel, I'm going to have to fabricate it, which would be truly a push on me and my skills. You've seen me build a lot of stuff on this channel, but trying to reproduce, there's a lot of lines. So we're curving up, we're curving across, body line molds. We've got that guy kind of dips in real sharp. This is the push of my metal fabrication skills, but it's either leave it as it is and let it keep rusting or try to do some type of repair on it. So that'll be a big fabrication point on with it. Oh, dadgummit, something else too. So if you're gonna drive this car down the road with all the exhaust fumes, they're gonna keep trying to feed back. They built this in, so it's like a wind scoop, and you can see my fingers kind of pointing through back there to actually make like a shield from any of the carbon monoxide coming in, which I think is absolutely sweet too. I don't know, if you haven't figured it out, I'm in love with this thing. This car is freaking sweet, and I'm excited for the point that I might actually be able to start it and get this thing built maybe this winter. All right, and there you have it. So this is my 1965 country sedan station wagon, a car that I have wanted for a lot of years now. I'd say probably 15 years. I've had it for 4. I think it's finally time. I think it's time that we build it. I think it's time we build it right here on this channel, on this, that, and the other. We've still got some pieces that we need to source. Transmission is the biggest one. Man, I still think this thing needs a 4-speed, but I don't think it merits sitting another year versus it or an automatic. My wife still can't drive a manual transmission. Maybe this is the sign that says the family hauler needs to be something we can both drive. I don't know. I still want the 4-speed really bad, but I think nonetheless it's time to get fired up on this thing and see what happens. I just became a dad again. This is 4 kids for us. It's wagon time. There's no excuses for it anymore. I need a station wagon. I need a bid block. It's time. So until the next one, this, that, and the other, the name says it all. You never know what the next video might be. Could be this wagon, could be a Jeep, could be a tractor, could be whatever else. You never know. So we encourage you guys to come back. God bless and take care.